Hello, and welcome to Trails Through Daybreak 2. As you may not know, as I have purged every last inkling of evidence of this off the face of the earth, I am just coming away from having beaten Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the AAA Slop that I referred to in the title. And, you know, to be fair, I didn't hate Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Life would be so much easier if I hated that game. Because if you don't like a game, you just don't play it, right? I completed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I did all the side content. Why? Because I love Final Fantasy VII. And I, even discounting the fact that I grew up with Final Fantasy VII and I have like insane nostalgia for it. It was one of my first like video games ever. And it was one of my favorite video games of all time. I loved Remake as well. Like Remake hit me in that same way where I genuinely was filled, it sparked joy in me when I played Remake. Everything about it, from the combat to the pacing, to the characters, the writing, to the visuals, except for that one time that you have like a JPEG of Midgar when you're up above the plate. Everything was just mind-blowing. It blew me away. It blew my expectations out of the water. The only thing that I didn't like about it was like the time ghost shenanigans. You know how it'd be. I don't think it. Who saw the time ghost and was like, oh yay, I love it when my childhood JRPGs get Kingdom Hearts bullshit foisted upon them. It's but I would still rate Remake as a 10 out of 10. And as I was playing Rebirth, you know, I saw of course, like the fundamental elements of Remake were there, because I mean, you know, it's a sequel. They used the same building blocks to make a new game. The problem was they had the right pieces and they put them together wrong. Like, I know, of course, they struggled to, you know, take that formula that they made, that concise formula that they made for Remake, and turn it into a massive open world experience for Rebirth. It's clear that they didn't know how to do that, because they just sort of copied what other AAA games that also get criticized for being slop tend to do. Just put up radio towers, Ubisoft towers, that get marked off on your map automatically, and you go to those towers, and then they mark off more little points on your map, and you go to those little points on your map, and they give you tedious tasks to do, and it checks off a checklist, and may or may not give you like incremental, abstracted crafting ingredients that you could slowly build towards making something remotely useful out of. But that isn't so useful that it would also impact, you know, the balance of the game for people who don't do that and just go through the main storyline. It's a very safe way to make a game, and it's not fun. Like, it's just like, maybe if I was 12 and this was my first game ever, I would be like, yes, thank God, there's like, I could play this game for hundreds of thousands of hours, which is, to be fair, what I did for Final Fantasy VII. But the runtime of Final Fantasy VII in its entirety was like a third of the time that I ended up spending on Rebirth alone. That game is padded. Like, I don't think I've ever once in my life played a game that I felt like actively wanted me to put it down. Like the game was challenging me to get bored with it. And it's because it was trying so hard to do the opposite, to keep me marginally engaged by giving me mediocre things to do, like holding the triangle button to scan a fucking life crystal, or holding the haptic triggers during a cutscene to like, oh, they fight back, oh, it makes it so epic because I'm like crawling on the ground and I have to hold the haptic triggers, or like moving around the vacuum cleaner to suck up Mako because of the fact that the elevator wouldn't open if I didn't do that, because they wanted to add like an extra like 7 minutes of padding to that sequence. I know it's not a loading screen problem, it's an elevator. Elevators are loading screens already inherently. it's just because they wanted to extend that time. Like they had some kind of quota that they wanted to hit of like time that this sequence takes to beat. Like, yeah, we spent like months rendering this part of the world. Like, we want people to stay in here for at least 2 hours. Like, it's not fun. And like the game from start to finish was just interspersed with stuff like that, incessant, to the point where like I came into it with like childlike wonderment in my eyes. I mean, I love those characters. I love that storyline. I love that game. I love the prequel to whatever the fuck we have now. I love the prequel to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I should say. And there was no reason for me to dislike Rebirth. And I didn't dislike Rebirth. I was infuriated to death by it. I wanted so badly to like it, and I saw the potential that it had, and that made it all the more soul-crushing as it would slowly dawn on me that I was not having fun. And to be fair, like there are aspects of that game that I really loved, like the piano. I thought the piano was one of the best rhythm minigames I've ever experienced. It's a lot of times when you play a rhythm minigame, if you press the button in sequence with the notes, then you get a good song. Sometimes if you miss the sequence, the song still plays as normal. It's just, it just deducts points. Sometimes it'll give you like a little a jarring sound effect to let you know that you screwed up the timing of the note. Sometimes, if you mistime the note, it'll give you like an off-key version of that note. In Rebirth's piano minigame, even if you get the points for hitting the note with the perfect timing, the note genuinely plays in time with when you press the button. So you can hit all the right timings for like the game's window to get the right timings, and the song will still sound like shit if you don't know the song and if you aren't like intimately aware of like how it's supposed to sound. So like 2 people can get a perfect score on, say, Tifa's theme in Rebirth, and one person's can sound way better than the others. And that was nice that there was like a bit of creative expression to the piano themes, to the piano minigame. So that was probably like genuinely my favorite part of it, except for Barrett's theme, which they totally got wrong. They totally, like, all of the songs are a little bit like remixed or recomposed for that minigame. I mean, all the songs in the game are recomposed, but for that minigame in particular, they prided themselves on like hiring like a renowned piano composer to recompose them. And Barrett's theme in particular, for some reason, they just saw fit to totally change up the tone of the song. Like Barrett's theme, it originally, it plays when you're in choral, and it's supposed to be like evocative of like his somber like memories of what it's like to come back to your hometown after you pretty much like helped destroy it. Everybody hates your guts, and you're stuck with these like conflicted emotions because like you're back home, but also everybody there hates you. But you don't have any bitter feelings towards them. Instead, you just feel like self-resentment. And instead, they turned that song that's supposed to convey that emotion into like a saloon jingle, because the piano happens to be in a bar. So it's like this somber ass song, and you're just like, and it's just like, what the fuck? No, that's not. And it also just didn't feel good to play, because it did a lot of the thing where you have like the double notes and the triplets all bound to like one input for the minigame, and that just didn't feel good. It's a lot better when like each note is one input, but they sped up the song so much that they couldn't do that anymore. So that one sucked. And then Queen's Blood was great. I loved Queen's Blood. No notes. Queen's Blood was a very solid minigame that they spread throughout the game. That was what I looked forward to the most. And obviously the combat was great, although the combat did have some weird issues, like the targeting was not as good as it was in Remake. Enemies' attacks were less telegraphed in Rebirth than Remake for some reason. Like it felt like there were a lot more moves that enemies would use that didn't have the little like display at the top for like the move name to know what was coming. And then, what else? I remember I fought the red dragon at the end of Rebirth, towards the end of the game. And I was like, oh, cool, Cloud has, like, fire elemental. He's completely immune to fire. This should be a breeze. For some reason, none of that fire dragon's moves are fire elemental. They just forgot. They just forgot to set the fire element to any one of his moves. And I got a little bit curious about this. I was like, wait, how long has this been happening for? So I went through like the enemy list. And sure enough, there's like mad moves that are clearly like, oh, this is an electronic, like, you know, baton, no elemental. This is like a fire breath, no element behind it. It was like, I understand for balancing reasons why you might want to do that, but it was just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But anyways, that's enough about Rebirth. How's it going, Mad Cultist? We're going to play my favorite JRPG series of all time, Trails Through Daybreak 2. I have indeed played literally all of like the 12 games that came before this, I think. I don't know off the top of my head how many there were, but I've played every single one of them to exhaustion. I love it and I can't wait to jump in, and I'm going to play this on the hardest difficulty right off the bat. Although lately these games have been getting easier every single game. Like Sky was insanely hard if you put it on hard, or even on normal it was kind of hard. And then the Crossbell series was like a good difficulty. Like you could do, there was some strong stuff that you could do in that game. You had like a full squad off the bat, so you could do some cool like team dynamics for the entirety of the game. But there was nothing that was like Omega broken that I found. And then when you get to Cold Steel, all of a sudden, like, all the rules are breakable. You can just, you know, 200% evasion, 700% magic damage, like, no ATB costs on anything. Everything was fair game. Yeah, that I would believe that the original Sky's harder difficulties were never properly balanced. Because I even now, going back to Trails in the Sky, as having played every single one of these games on the higher difficulties, I'm just like, this is not fair. I think I have like a clip somewhere of me doing like one of the earlier boss fights in Sky 1 where it's like you're training against like the local militia, and depending on how my loadout was set up, I could just get killed without getting a single turn. So you needed like luck and like a good build. It was pretty ridiculous. But these games, I'm very confident that I can take these on for my first try on Nightmare. The hardest part of Nightmare in Daybreak 1 was like, in the field, you could easily accidentally get killed before you start the battle. If clear data from Trails Through Daybreak is available, choices made there can be reflected in this game, and special clear bonuses can be obtained. Yes. Hey, droplets. Van's Skillstone, Skillstones. Okay. I don't know what the Skillstones do. I've heard, you know, people say like, oh, you know, the story in Daybreak is like the Daybreak 2 is like the worst that it's ever been. But people have been consistently saying that for a lot of these games. Like Cold Steel, oh yeah, it's the worst it's ever been. Cold Steel 2, Cold Steel 3, Cold Steel 4, people kept saying it's the worst it's ever been. I loved every single one of those games. I just unconditionally love this game. This is like my Sparks Joy series. Before diving into the main story, would you like to take a brief recap video of Trails Through Daybreak? I'm good. I spent like 300 hours in that game. I got the story. February 20th. AM. This is exactly how Daybreak 1 opened up. I can understand having mismatched expectations. I didn't like Trails 3rd because I was not expecting it to just be like a straight dungeon crawler. That caught me off guard, and I ended up like not really jiving with that one. I did watch all the Star and Sun doors, even if I didn't beat the game.
わずかにあるみたい。今度こそと思ったんだけどな。裏の監視もますます厳しくなるかな。めんどくさい。
やっぱり近いうちに彼を訪ねてみるか。いろいろとつてが使えそうだし、以前の礼もしたかったところだ。
4SPG、確かに条件は合うかな。今のうちにとっておきのスイーツも見繕っておかないとね。
お前絶対自分が食いたいだけだろ。とっとと退散した方が良さそうだな。うん、行
こう、スーちゃん。
Just realized she's a 3 and a 4 keychain. Oh no, it was 3 and 9. Gotcha. That makes sense. Because they were those were like their code names or their nicknames or whatever. You prefer the dub in these series? It's one of the few JRPGs that has a good dub. I've played every single one of these in Japanese. Not even just the sub, like in Japanese, because a lot of these came out in Japanese before they, you know, got localized. So I was able to play them. And so Daybreak 1 I played in Japanese. So I'm very used to all the Japanese voices. Only when they come out on PC. I have not played this game yet. Not Kai. No, Kai is not out on PC yet, I don't think. I was able to play Hajimari in Japanese early, and then I was able to play Kuro 1 in Japanese early.
当局の発表では動力設備の事故と見られており、事件性は認められないとのことです。続いてのニュースです。本日グランサーキットで行われる
なんだこんな朝っぱらから。
Oh yeah. See, I played the CLE port of Hajimari, and it wasn't terrible, but I regretted not waiting for the actual PH3 port. It like got the job done, and it was worth being able to play it like 2 years early. But yeah, it was not a good port, especially not compared to Durant Studio, which is like amazing.
Ah, なんだ。お前が私服でうちに来るとは珍しいな。
What's going on here?
有名人なんだからもう少し気を使えと言いたいところだが。
Hang on a second, it's not reading my controller. Which is weird because it just was in the menu. Should just unplug my fight stick. There we go.
意外と気づかれないものよ。どうかしら。この間新調したばかりなのだけど。
どうって。まあ悪くないんじゃねえか。いざって時も動きやすそうだしな。ってなんだよ。
別に。それにしてもこんな時間まで寝てるなんてさすがにだらしなさすぎるわね。お目付け役がいないからってふぬけすぎなんじゃないかしら。
別にふぬけてるつもりはねえよ。ぼちぼち依頼もこなしてたしな。他のバイトどももまだ戻らなくてな。ちょいと仕事のペースを落としてるだけだ。
フェリちゃんたち年末からそろそろ2月経つけれど。
I think that I loved Daybreak 1 mostly for Van. Like I just thought Van was like the most interesting protagonist they'd had in a long time. And I feel like a lot of people who complain about some of the protagonists in the Trail series, I say like they made a good one. Just wait until, you know, like 11 games in.
ずいぶん戻るのが遅れてるみたいね。
それぞれ野暮用ができちまったようだな。おかげでもうしばらくは昔みたいな気楽な日々を過ごせるってもんだ。
何を言っているんだか。そもそもアニエスさんは毎週バイトに来てるそうじゃない。
隔週だ隔週。ま、あいつもこれから学芸祭の準備で忙しくなってきそうだが。
Yeah, everybody has like different tastes. I loved Estelle. Estelle was part of the reason that I, you know, became a Trails fan to begin with. But some people, they don't like Estelle right away, and I don't get it. They probably like they find her annoying. I can imagine liking Lloyd. He's more of like a generic shonen protagonist kind of guy. And then Reen, I can understand being really popular like for a Japanese audience, but you know, people in the West don't like Reen. He's very Kirito coded. I personally, I like Reen. I love his like dark brooding past and like his dark like sealed powers. I eat that shit up. I also, you know, I'm an unapologetic Sword Art Online fan, so I'll eat that shit up. But I feel like Van is my favorite so far of all of the protagonists that they've had.
ああ、もうそんな時期か。ますます寂しくなりそうね。
だからねえっつーの。まあそれはともかく、そろそろ本題に入るとしようぜ。
Reen wins all the popularity contests everywhere? Yeah, I guess he just has the most vocal like detractors. Because whenever I go to like any community that's talking about Trails, it's always like, oh, I hate Reen. Yeah, screw Reen. I guess that's also how it works with Sword Art Online. Everybody pretends to hate it, but then if you actually poll like a casual viewer base, everybody loves it. It's hip to hate him, I guess. But yeah, I loved Reen. Who did you romance in Cold Steel?
直々に持ち込んでくるような依頼。しかも非番を取って非公式にだ。正直いい予感は全くしねえが。
ええ、残念ながら当たりよ。
Also, I love this character, Elaine. They really sold me on Elaine in the last game. Like the whole game, I was like, man, I want more opportunities to talk with this character. But instead, they would keep like forcing Agnes on you. And so I was not a fan of Agnes. She's like way too prim and proper and like typical cookie cutter, like, you know, shonen love interest for me to have interest in her in this story in particular. I feel like she would have been a great fit in Cold Steel, but in this game, Elaine is definitely more of like the kind of character that I would expect as a love interest. And I'm gonna be really pissed if there isn't an option to get to get Van back together with Elaine. But I'll understand if it's like NES only. Recent poll for Kai. The two heroines in Calvert. Gotcha. Are those the two that appeared in Kai no Kiseki, or I mean in Hajimari, or is it gonna be like two other protagonists. Because those two just showed up. I don't remember what their names were. Those two characters just randomly showed up in Hachimari, and I was like, oh, those are going to be the protagonists for the next game, right? And then it was Van. And I was like, oh, okay.
こいつは。
年明けから首都の裏で起き始めている不可解な事件。当然あなたもマークしているわね。
まさかマジだったとはな。最近立て続けに起きている不可解な事故や事件。
I'm just wondering if the two characters that are the main characters in Kai are totally new characters.
その裏で少なくねえ殺しが行われてるってのは。
Van, Reen, and Kevin. Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
およびマフィアや半グレといったアウトロー、いずれもあらゆる意味で人間とは思えない徹底的な殺害方法で殺されているわ。事件の性質上、表向きはぼや騒ぎや事故という形で処理されているけれど、
体制側の人間まで被害に遭ってるとなりゃな。だが噂は流れ始めている。今は憶測の域を出ないものがほとんどだが、ブレイサーギルドと CID にしてみりゃ一刻も早く片付けたいってところか。
ええ、すでに連続猟奇殺人事件として合同調査も始まっているわ。未だに尻尾をつかめていない状況だけど。
一応こちらでも気にはしていた。だが今のところそこまでの匂いは感じねえし、直接依頼の相談が来ているわけでもねえ。正直一個人事務所には手に余る案件だ。お前も当然分かってんだろ。
ええ。
Van says this every time.
昨日までならそれでよかった。だけど事情が変わったの。
Man, you've got to save my dog. He's run away. It's too big of a task for this little office here. I'm afraid I'm gonna need to turn you away. Dark Grendel. I always thought Grendel was such a silly name for what's supposed to be like this awesome power transformation. Sounds like Grundle.
特務部隊ハーキュリーズ。そのガンマ中隊が昨夜壊滅させられた。独自の情報網で連続殺人の容疑者を捕捉、制圧に向かった先で完膚なきまでに赤い妖精と異形の怪物に姿を変えたコートの男によってね。
It's really funny because Hercules is supposed to be like this super elite unit, and they have this like super elite tech that like nobody has it first. It's like they have like breakthroughs in stealth technology, and they just only take L's. They've yet to do literally anything.
最新の特撮技術か何かかと言いたいところだが、この映像ルネのつてか。
ええ、彼から極秘裏に回されてきた。ギルドではなく私個人に。昨年マフィア・アルマータが起こした人知を超える数々の事件、その顛末にはいつも裏解決屋の存在と謎の青黒い怪物の断片情報があった。
Tug's collar.
その意味で完全ではないまでも各勢力が意識しつつある。あなたとの関係を。それがどういう意味かわからないあなたじゃないでしょ。
正直あれについては俺も完全には分かっちゃいないがな。要するに俺は最重要参考人として挙げられつつあるわけだ。 CID そして遊撃士協会に。
否定はしないわ。ハーキュリーズの部隊が壊滅させられた以上 CID が本格的に動き出すのも時間の問題。
This is what I love about the Daybreak series so far, is that they always start you out like painting you as the bad guy. Like you're not a hero, you're like a seedy anti-hero, and I love it.
警察はもちろんギルドもね。
たく面倒なことになっちまったもんだ。だが伝えてくれて助かったぜ。
どうするつもり？
とにかく動くしかねえだろ。嗅ぎ取れなかったことも含めて個人的に放っておけねえのは確かだが、それ以前にこのままわけのわからん冤罪で捕まってやる義理はねえからな。みっともなく裏解決屋としてあがいてやるさ。一人でも全てのつてを使ってでもあいつらのおかげで繋いだ今、その借りもまだ返せてねえからな。
Yeah, I love that you can recruit like characters that were antagonists in previous games.
報酬が1ミラも出ねえのが難点だが、せめてご褒美スイーツくらいは用意するかね。
不器用ね。相変わらず。それに私の話はまだ終わっていない。依頼だと言ったはずだけれど。
何？
遊撃士として民間人を脅かす新たな恐怖の種を放置はできない。同時に私個人としても動かずにはいられないわ。
I love this logic. We're going to give you a request to clear your own name. We want you to conduct an internal investigation and conclude as to whether or not you're guilty of these crimes. It checks out.
昔なじみが不当な容疑で抑えられかねない。そんな状況を回避するためにもあなたの裏の事情が絡んでいるかもしれない。監視の意味でも共同戦線が最も合理的でしょう。
Ooh, I get a lane right off the bat,
遊
don't I?
撃士としての立場上、表立って協力を要請するわけにもいかないわ。あくまで 4SPG という形での協力依頼受けてもらえるかしら。ちょっとどうしてそこで笑うのよ。
いや、不器用なのはどっちだって思ってな。本当に変わらねえ。いや、むしろ変わったからこそか。
そうね。去年いろいろあったから。それはあなたも同じでしょ。
だな。いいだろう。裏解決業務としての筋は十分だ。短い間の協力関係よろしく頼むぜ。剣の乙女エレイン・オークレール殿。
こちらこそバン・アークライド所長。
Bistro, Montmartre.
このカラメリゼされたリンゴのほろ苦くもジューシーな甘さと食感、サクサクのタルト生地にシナモンの風味が加わって素朴でありながらもエレガントな味わい。これぞモンマルトの季節限定スイーツ、タルトタタン。何度食ってもうならせてくれやがるさ。
I love hearing Van just like gush about sweets in Japanese like this. It reminds me of when I went on vacation to Japan and I went to a hot springs inn and they gave me like this like really lavish like 5-course meal. And like I was there with somebody who didn't speak a word of Japanese, so she was depending on me to like interpret for her. And like the server or chef, I guess, like would bring out these meals and then describe everything in like elegant detail. Like, oh yeah, we have this like obscure fruit, like and vegetable that only is grown in like the outskirts of Hakone, and I'm just like, I can barely understand like a third of what he's trying to convey to me. I'm just like smiling and nodding my head. So my friend asked me like, what did he say? And I just looked at it. I was like, it's a soup.
それでいてどこか懐かしくて優しくて、まさにこのお店を体現したかのような味。さすがビクトルさんですね。
そりゃどうもだ。この不良タナコとどんな事情で動くのか知らんが、しっかり英気を養いでいくといい。
Omni-Man
いい
Victor.
かバン。エレインさんにくれぐれも迷惑かけるんじゃねえぞ。
へいへい、わかってるっつの。
Yeah. Ugh. Why does he always have to give me such a hard time? Only because he cares, I'm sure. So like, Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games of all time. Remake, I love 10 out of 10. Rebirth, I wanted to love so badly, but it just kept putting me off on account of like the awful pacing and like a lot of like the padding, like a lot of the open world exploration stuff like just was not fun to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did pretty much everything in that game, and I just came out of it like just wishing that I would have liked it better. It also doesn't help that I had to wait until it came out on PC to play it, because I didn't feel like buying a whole new console just to play Rebirth. I did that already for Remake. I bought a PS4 just for Remake, and I wasn't gonna buy a PS5 for Rebirth. So it also didn't help that I had to wait so long. That game just had a lot of problems that were not the case in a Remake. And it also had like a lot of weird design decisions that just felt like they were there because other AAA games did it, and not because that it would enhance the experience. Like it felt like they really wanted to pad out the playtime. I didn't appreciate that. As I said at the beginning of the stream, though, I really loved Queen's Blade, and I loved the piano minigame. And the combat was still good and enjoyable, even though the game would like really do everything in its power to not let you enjoy too much of the combat all at once. Yeah, beelining the story and ignoring most of the open world is definitely the way to do it. But like, you know, I tend to be sort of completion focused when it comes to JRPGs.
So, where's Yume and Paulette? I haven't seen them here today.
No, they've gone to a race. They got an invite from a certain hot-headed racer we all know and love. And he's been inviting her out a lot since the end of last year. I have to imagine the old grump's been worrying up a storm over that. But even if he is a bundle of nerves right now, it at least ain't showing in his cooking. Oh yeah, for sure. Like FF7 Remake and Rebirth, and by extension, definitely had like mind-blowingly good combat for an action JRPG. Like the only thing that I would like compare it to is like Ys, or the newer Ys games, but you know, the Ys games have a lot less depth to them than Final Fantasy VII Remake managed to have. I love it to death, which is also another reason why I did a lot of the side content, because if you do the side content in those games, you get to unlock like the more difficult boss fights. Like you get to fight Gilgamesh and do all like the combat simulator stuff, and that was what I was playing for. Like I really loved some of the optional boss fights. Even in Remake, like I did like the main like difficulty fights, and like I challenged myself by doing them with only Cloud. But yeah, FF16 and also what was it? 15 and 16 both. It had like action combat that like did not have any depth to it whatsoever. And like, yeah, they also didn't commit and like go like full Devil May Cry, because I don't think that they're capable of making an action combat system that is quite that robust in terms of like its mechanics. So they just had like, yeah, like a watered down like sort of middle way like slop combat that didn't have the mechanical depth of FF7, and that didn't have the depth of FF7 or the complexity of Devil May Cry. It was just there. It existed to kill stuff, to sort of bring the plot along.
Ah yes, I've heard a little about their situation. The road to reconciliation can be long and thorny, but I wish them luck all the same. Phew, I'd only meant to have a light meal, but I think I got a little more than I bargained for. Now that we're full, perhaps we should set to work.
Sounds good. Information on the case isn't gonna find itself. You wanted to hit up Riverside and the Grand Circuit, yeah?
And that's right. As far as we can tell, that's where the latest incidents have occurred. With your keen sense of smell, you might be able to uncover some leads that fell by the wayside.
Let's hope my nose lives up to your expectations. And I say we head to Riverside first, it's closer. Just give me a sec to get ready, and we can hop to it. Oh, they poached the combat designer from DMC? That's so funny. I guess they really were confident that they could carry it only on combat mechanics.
必要なものは雑貨屋あたりで揃えて。
Ah, it feels good to be back here.
おっと。
Hang on. Okay. Let's hit the options real quick. Let's see, what did I want to do? Audio, let's turn up the voice by a notch or two. Let's turn VSync on. Would that be in here? Yeah, let's turn that on. And then... there was something else that I wanted to do, but I can't remember. Let's take a look at my equipment. Humble Blade, Defend... Oh, I have a different pair of... I have a different sub-weapon. Mirage Type 1. Less HP, less attack, more magic. More evasion. Oh. That's hers. Okay, gotcha. Alright, so... I think I should have... Hey! I'm gonna need all of this for Nightmare, for early on. What do these do? Skill stones. Use in craft enhancements in the Marchand Garden menu. A mysterious stone that can strengthen Van's crafts. Interesting. Holocores, Mare, and Nagi. And I have some quartz. Check the ornaments out. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's start by just, how do I just remove these? Okay, so there's not gonna be a lot that I can do yet. Let's just take a quick look at what my options are here. Gotta get back into the swing of understanding how all of this works. Alright, Hawkeye I'm probably gonna want on somebody, and Treasure Hunter is also gonna be nice to have early on. Alright, so let's actually give... Sure, let's give Van Strike. Let's give Elaine action. Wait, hang on, I'm not gonna... I don't have enough for these yet. Yeah, I can't actually get these yet. Flare impact. Oh wait, no, I want it in the arts section. Aqua boost chance of additional damage when using attack water arts. Then I have hit, I guess. Yeah, I'll build Van out for physical damage. And then I'll just build Elaine out for arts for now. so many RPGs have been releasing the past few years. It's kind of insane. Yeah, actually, we have been seeing like a huge resurgence of JRPGs.
D の新味チェックも忘れずにしねえとな。
何を作るんだ？
We had like such a drought of them for like a long period in like the 2010s. And I remember like people were praising Bravely Default and stuff because it was just like it was like an oasis in a desert of JRPGs. Meanwhile, I was like just getting into Trails at the time, so I was eating good. But I would also like try some of the rare JRPGs that would come out. Like I tried dipping my toes into the Tales of franchise, and I was not a huge fan of it. People keep telling me like, oh no, you just haven't played the good ones. But like I played like 3 of those games, and I didn't really like any of them. I wanted everything. Here's freeze, CP plus 10, resist up. Okay. Get rid of that Zerum powder. This is going to be more useful early on for the money for the Mira than it is going to be for like when I use this in the final combat section. Same with the Celestial Bomb.
Sonja na.
相変わらずみたいね。
I can fast travel already? I mean, I want to explore. These two are still sitting here from like the first game. Good to know that nothing has changed. Let me see, is there a way to increase the camera sensitivity? There it is. Camera inertia, none please. Okay. Yeah, it feels better. Hey, Robinson. Actually, I was told I have another business trip coming up soon. You alright with watching Harry again for me? Of course, Hawker. The kids love having him around. But between you and me, don't you think you've been working a little too much lately? I mean, you're making it home past midnight more often than not these days. Harry's been talking about how much he misses his dad, you know. He's beginning to say that he's an absent father, and that he has no dad.
Sorry, I've had to take on a lot of new roles recently. I'll try to book my return flight for as soon as possible.
Well, that's all fine and dandy, but don't you think that's the kind of thing you should be telling your son?
I was able to work my way up to a promotion recently, but they just ended up sending me out to fix a problem in one of their branch offices. I'm actually supposed to be heading to Anchorville today, too. I should be back in about a week, though. I hope. Seriously, I don't know what I'd do without Robinson, raising my kids for me, making love to my wife for me. He's a really good friend.
Knocker's an old childhood friend of mine who happens to live next door. Our families have been friends for years now. I'm very good friends with his wife. He's a single... Oh. Never mind. He's a single dad now after all what I did to his wife, so he ended up taking care of his kid while he's out on business trips. Ever since the end of last year, though, all he's been focused on is work, work, work. Harry doesn't ever complain about it, but you can tell the kid misses having his dad around. I think there's like a little like romance thing brewing between their kids as well, even though I think Robinson's daughter is older than Hawker's son. Hey, Victor. Yeah, if you're looking for Paulette and Yume, they went out somewhere. I'm here by myself until evening. That comet freak's been getting pretty bold lately. But if even his pinky toe crosses the line, I'll drop him in oil and fry him like a croquette. Yeah, it sounds like you've been waiting for the opportunity. Not that I don't get why. Oh, shut your trap. And get to work already, would ya? Don't go causing any problems for Miss Elaine either. Yeah, I'm going.
I'll stop by on my way home, Victor.
Yeah, if you're feeling peckish, go ahead and order. As for you, delinquent, stay out of trouble with Miss Elaine around here. See if there's anything upstairs. Hey, Elaine, so this is my bedroom, but you knew that already, didn't you? Yeah, so my first Tales of game ever was like agreeably one of the worst ones. It was Tales of Zestiria. And I put a lot of time into it, but I couldn't finish it because it was just not enjoyable to me. It's amazing how they put so much complexity into the combat system in that game and managed to end up with so little depth. Like it's like the breadth of the ocean, the depth of a puddle with the combat in that game. And it's just I kept trying to like wrap my head around it and put more thought into what I was doing. And I just determined that there was just like an optimal loadout and you didn't really have to think about it beyond like mashing buttons once you had that loadout. Aaron's room, locked right now. Wonder if he's home. Judith's room. Rosette's room. I guess they're not home, otherwise they wouldn't be locked. Cotter's room. Fairy's room. And then after that I played Braziria, which was like pretty much the same game, different story. It had like all the same mechanics. And I think it was even like tied to Zestiria in some way or another. But I also was not a huge fan of that. People said it was better, but I didn't really notice any difference. And then I played Vesperia, which some people said was one of the good ones, and they said it was because the combat was more interesting. And it was more interesting, but it didn't necessarily feel good. So I fell off of that one too.
Oh, hello. Do you live here?
Yeah, I kind of figured she'd reject you. And Tual's basically the ambassador for all the cats in Old Town. She's not exactly the biggest fan of people, though. Yeah, I guess you must be special.
You think so? I can't imagine why. Maybe she knows I'm a bracer?
She's paying respects to an authority figure. What's this one? This was Master Burgard's room. It hasn't been used since he left. That's the toilet. This is a shower. Where are the stairs? How did I get so low there? Wait. There we go. I don't know how I got so lost.
カスタムの続きはま明日にするか。
車趣味も変わらないわね。
変わった組み合わせだね。
Strange combination you got there today. Tyrell Times issue 1. Ooh, a candy cigarette. Pink candy.
また顔を出しな。
まあいいわ。リバーサイドへはバスで向かいましょう。
Hey, Gin, got any copies of the Tyrell Times that I just bought off of you? Oh, and you selling any new candy today? Like the ones I just bought off of you?
Why, all you ever ask for is candy, candy, candy. I run a tobacco shop, you nincompoop.
Eh, fine. Guess I'll take a candy cigarette then. Wait, maybe I should get a churro.
What did I just say? When will you learn? Hey, are you his client? Get him to do his job, will ya? Yes, I intend to. I think I've seen her around before. She's awfully active for her age, isn't she? You probably just got up, didn't you? Don't start getting all lazy because your assistants aren't around. Get out there and get to working. Got it?
Like a weather forecast coming on the news there. Natalia, this is like the Chunibyo old lady.
Hello there. Such nice weather we're having. It's sad to think this peace is only temporary. That's right. I know all about the terrible things happening in the deep, dark underground, and... You can't mean... There's no need to fear. I bagged the guy just last night, handed him over to the police, too. Oh no. Now everyone will know I'm the famous phantom thief Grimcat. That's not what I thought she was going to say. Natalia spends her days telling lies to whoever will listen. I don't think she does it maliciously, though. It's just a hobby of hers. Make sure you keep my secret, okay? By the way, you're familiar with Grimcat, right? And how she's been active for the past 50 years. Well, believe it or not, I'm her! First suited up when I was just a wee lass. After finding out how many bad guys were roaming around the city, I felt I had no choice but to answer the call of justice. I'd been thinking about retiring soon, but evil never truly sleeps, you know? I can only imagine what Judith would think.
Well, thankfully, she doesn't have to know. Let's check this shop. Well, if it isn't bad, you off to work? With such a beauty as well. Well, I haven't seen you. Wait, haven't I seen you around somewhere? It's possible.
But I'm really just one of his clients. Please, don't mind me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Van may be young, but he's always been a hard worker. I'm sure he'll have your problem resolved in no time. No, is that right, Mr. Arkwright? Yeah, let's just get moving, okay? They seem awfully familiar with one another. Was I misunderstanding something? All your assistants left for home, and Agnes is so busy with school. It's been so sad without them around. They'll be back soon, right? Make sure you work extra hard for them. I mean, I'm perfectly fine doing this job by myself. Oh, do you think that's something your assistants would like to hear? No. I'm sorry. Don't tell them I said that. They'd give me so much crap for it.
Sounds like he's getting along with everyone in the neighborhood.
Okay, I can cook stuff here. Newberry cider. I don't think I want to buy ingredients right now. Actually, you know what? I have tons of... No, I don't need ingredients yet. I can always buy them later. Ever since my fool of a son left that gang of his, he's actually been more productive with his life. He's still not home very often, though. It really makes me worry. I know he's not doing anything terrible, but... maybe I should cut him some slack. Are these guys? I guess they're not home. There's a flyer posted with information on how to apply for tenancy. Oh, they moved out? Or they're moving out. They had like a whole side quest in the original where they had like a failing marriage. Catherine.
Welcome to Seed Forest. I used to work here as a part-time employee, but Raymond felt the need to move recently.
Oh, that was Raymond's house.
He managed to teach me lots about proper plant care, however. He even gave me a few tips on how to make cookies with flower nectar. Anyway, I'll do my best to keep our wares stocked with top-shelf plants, so please stop by again, alright?
Yeah, might as well. I'll be expecting those cookies you mentioned.
You never change, do you?
This is what I love about the Trails franchise, is that like I've gone back into this world and I recognize literally every single one of these NPCs from previous games. Or for the previous game, I should say, for now.
Raymond used to live in that share house across the way with a few friends of his. Unfortunately, they decided to go their separate ways a few months ago. Their absence has kind of made things a little more lonely than usual, honestly. But I won't let that get me down. I've still got a shop to run after all.
Yeah, she had a thing for the guy that used to run this flower shop. Oh, rose cookies. And I believe he was into his Hang on, is that all you sold? I guess so. Bulletin board is strewn with notes and requests. It doesn't look like there's anything noteworthy here.
Dore dore.
Neovita S. Life Aid. Melon au lait. Melon au lait? Ew. A milk-based drink with an indulgent melon flavor. Melon milk. Okay. I mean, I guess that could work. Yeah, if you get like strawberry milk is the thing. It's just calling it melon au lait was kind of funny.
It looks like they're getting along just fine.
Yeah, they don't seem to be related though. Maybe she's taking care of a stray? Local nun, Sister Maria.
Hello, Van. It's a wonderful morning out, isn't it? How's your work going lately? I hope there haven't been any problems.
Well, if it isn't the same, well, it's the same as usual recently. Really. Things have settled down ever since we dealt with the Mafia stuff. I guess not as many people need our help anymore.
Ixnay on the Mafia May. Is that so? I'm glad to hear it's more peaceful around here, but I suppose that does mean less work for you.
Perhaps I'll send you some subcontract work soon. Nah, don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
You seem awfully close. Maybe they're...
It looks like she's starting to get ideas.
Father Nikolai's so personable. Plenty of people stop by just to talk to him. Did you know he's also an accomplished pharmacist? I'll be just as successful as him someday. I just have to remember to keep working hard.
Sister's a bundle of joy. I remember in the previous game, like, she had absolutely no idea what Van did for a living, but she was like, I'm sure you do something really upstanding. Good morning, Van. It's nice to see you again. You've been coming by every day, haven't you?
Every day? Have you been praying lately?
No. Father Nikolai and I just have a lot in common. Actually, we were talking about Ingert's design philosophy the other day. Oh yes, the aerodynamic design of their vehicles is quite impactful. I'm sure we can expect wonderful things from them in the next race. Yeah, no kidding. They'll be real contenders for sure. Still, ETWS is in pretty top form this season. Wouldn't be surprised if things ended in a draw. It seems there's much to ponder upon in the world of racing, isn't there?
Well, that was certainly unexpected. I didn't think he'd be so friendly.
Yeah, the guy's definitely not your usual priest. That's why people respect him so much. It's always a joy to talk to people from the old town. You get a chance to take a look into their lives, their struggles, their worries, and then helping with those feelings is all the more rewarding. Feel free to visit whenever you like. I always look forward to speaking with you. Well, let's see, who haven't I talked to? I think there's people up here. Probably the kids, yeah.
Oh no, Harry's been captured. Okay, stay calm, Mark. Harry needs your help. Sheena's so scary when she gets serious. What should I do?
Okay, Sheena and Harry and Mark, the kids of those two. I think specifically these two are the kids of the two that are in Mumart.
I said I was sorry, Sheena.
No, what's going on over here?
It's nothing really. I just finally managed to beat Harry at Kick the Can. That's what you get for being such a cheater. Hold on, that mousetrap totally got a clean hit on you. Yeah, and using mousetraps in Kick the Can is cheating. What's she being so scary for? Come on, Mark, where are you?
They seem to be having fun, I think. it's gotta work off the energy somehow.
I'm gonna make sure Harry pays today. Actually, it's kind of embarrassing how he's always at our house lately. I mean, I know we've grown up together, but still. Well, I guess it doesn't matter really. His brain's practically empty anyway.
Ben, help! Sheena's on a warpath today. Don't you think you guys should cool it for a bit?
Make sure you don't make your friend too angry, alright? Right. What's this lady so pretty for? I asked if Yume could come play with us today, but she went to go watch the race. I wish I could see you with my dad. Well, whatever. I heard the Z1 finals are gonna be even cooler.
There's the quartz factory, and then there's the I think there's like the baths up ahead. I love this character right here. This like introverted like quartz engineer. I love her, Rebecca. Talk to her first.
I think I can clean these parts with some liquid solvent. Yeah, you'll be spick and span in no time.
You seem awfully chipper today, Rebecca.
That? Oh, what's he doing here with someone so pretty?
Don't worry about her. She's just a little shy. Says she's much more comfortable around machines than people.
Well, people are just so scary, you know? And when there's so many of them out during the day, I could pass out just thinking about it.
I see. I guess she uses all her free time to focus on her craft. Well, she definitely gets the job done, that's for sure. She's looking a little more tense than usual, though. Maybe I should check in with Chris to see if anything's going on. Hey, Van. Here for a Zypher tune-up? Yeah, I was, but now doesn't seem like the best time. Yeah, sorry about that. We're in the middle doing some maintenance on our equipment. We've been getting a lot of requests to work on those T-phones recently. T-phones. So we figured it might be time to update our gear.
T-phones? Aren't those the Zyphos adapted for civilian use?
Yep. They're nothing more than a mobile phone for the average Joe, though. Still, I've heard they've been selling like hotcakes ever since they were released. Imagine if our iPhones could just fucking cast magic. Like if that was just a feature that was like built into them. You got that right. Although now that I think about it, you don't really see too many in Old Town, huh? Well, either way, we've gotten a good number of repair requests for the things already. We just need to be prepared for the inevitable flood.
Stanley's factory. I guess they're as skilled as the rumors claim.
Yeah, they've practically got all the other repair shops beat. You know, it looks like we'll have to drop in some other time, though. Sorry for the inconvenience. We should be finished by the end of today, though. Why don't you stop by then? I can't even buy quartz?
By the way, you remember Kaina from Krill Village, right? She's a technician just like me.
Yeah, I remember her.
Apparently she lives in Edith now. She even got a job at the Treon Mall's Vern store. That's so incredible. It must be really hard, especially getting a job out there. I could never do something like that. Feels like I'm gonna pass out just thinking about it.
Shame I can't buy quartz yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
朝からサウナってのも悪くはねえな。
はいはい、付き合ってあげるわ。寝ぼけられたままじゃ困るし。
付き合ってくるんだ。I expected her to be like, we don't have time for that.
ともかく入るならとっとと入っちまうぞ。
Hey, it's you two. Oh, Elaine. And you're the Spriggan, right?
In the flesh. You're those idol girls. With you?
It sure has been a while. You both look like you're doing well. What brings you to the area?
Yo, how's it going? Who's Sonic? It goes well. I'm playing my favorite fucking JRPG series of all time, and I couldn't be happier. I fucking love this game. Like, I recognize literally every NPC here. That's the thing about this game, is that every single fucking NPC that you talk to, it's like, I remember you. You had like a story. These two were like an idol group. Or no, this girl with the green hair, she was like trying to be an idol in the last game. And so she like came to this girl who was like a retired idol, and she was like, can you train me? And so she trained her, and then like they ended up like, antics ensued, and then they ended up like forming like a duo, and then now they're like a successful idol duo, and they're like talking about like their performances and stuff, and like they're like such a tiny part of this game, but like they have that much lore to them. That's what I love about this.
Trying to create a Yakuza-type situation with the world and lore.
We've really been putting the
I
hours into our
respect it.
practice, so we figured it might be nice to refresh ourselves for the next performance.
That's some smart thinking. Now listen up. Make sure you start with 3 sets of...
Don't start, Van. They're just here to relax. Hey, do you think they're... It's none of our business, Lulu. Anyway, we only get to perform so much because we get lots of support from our fans. If you guys have time, we'd really appreciate it if you came to watch us. I don't see why not. We'll be there.
Yeah, for sure. Enjoy the sauna. Yeah, it's like, exactly, like, it's like every single NPC that you can talk to in this game has like a Yakuza-esque like side story to them that like comes up at some point in time, or like you just see it develop by talking to them like between story beats, and it's fucking amazing. How have you been, man? Yeah, I'm assuming you just got back from like being out with Vanessa.
We don't come to Old Town very often, but you guys have some pretty interesting shops, huh? Maybe we should do a few quick rounds before we head back. Might even find some inspiration for a song.
You run Marvel Rivals. Yeah, that's your boys lately. Just
idol culture is still kind of new to the mainstream. We've been putting in all this work with so little to show for it. But thankfully, we've been getting invited to perform more ever since last year's concert. That's why we've been taking the time to relax and recover our energy. We need to be able to give it our best.
How's Rivals been going, man? Have you been ranking up? I have no concept of how the ranks work in Rivals. Oh hey, it's these 3. Let me think. Huck was like somebody really important. He was like the president of like a major like organization, like the president of like a major company. But he just spends all of his time here in this sauna playing like, mahjong with like other locals. Oh, Van, and you're...
Isn't this man a well-known economist? I believe I've seen him in the news before.
Oh, well, it's an awfully beautiful day out, don't you think? Perfect for mahjong. Really makes you want to put your heart and soul into the game.
Such a blatant attempt at changing the subject. I guess those rumors about him being a work of ours were true.
Yeah, the business world makes him out to be this all-knowing genius, when he's really just some goofy old guy. And here I thought you came to introduce me to yet another beautiful young lady. Wait, you're not under arrest, are you? Yeah, you get arrested quite a few times in the first game. No. Are you assuming she'd catch me anyway?
It's quite funny, isn't he? I'm glad to see they're on good terms. I never would have expected that.
Just playing some ranked matches with Yanni Shop. Diamond 2 right now. Nice. Trying to get to the next tier before the season ends. When the season ends, does it reset all the way, or do you get reset down to like a certain baseline? How does that work? Hey, Anya. So this girl is like she's really young. She's like young teens, I want to say, possibly even younger than that. But she's like a genius. Like she's like reads books on like economy for like a hobby. And so her parents just leave her in charge of the bathhouse because she does so much better of a job at running it than they do.
Welcome. Oh, what's this? Don't tell me. Nice job, Van. You two take as much time as you need. Wink.
The hell are you getting at? We're just passing by before work, right?
Of course. I totally understand. Nothing like a good wash before getting down to business, huh? I'd hate to put any more on your plate, Elaine. I'd really appreciate if you kept... I really appreciate you keeping good old Van here from making too much mischief.
She knows exactly what's going on between us. So I should mention that these two right here, Van and Elaine, they used to date. And so like they sort of had like, they were childhood friends, they used to date, and then they sort of had like a falling out, and now they're on like better terms. And so like Anya just picks up on all of that 'cause she's a fucking genius.
Leave it to me.
Have a little faith in me, would you?
Ah, come on. You know I'm just teasing. Anyway, I'm sure you guys must have some jobs to get to. But since you're here and all, why not enjoy a soak? Our baths are refreshing as ever, you know? And that sounds like a wonderful idea.
The achievement section is now unlocked. That's a weird timing. Okay, sure.
そうだな。
Been feeling pretty happy thanks to all the new customers we've had lately. Anyway, you said you were just passing by before work, but Elaine's in her civvies, isn't she? Something smells fishy. Yeah, whatever. Just take your time and relax, okay? The baths will do wonder for your energy.
ひとっ風呂浴びてく？
いい感じだ。
I love when games just let you do like mundane stuff like this.
たまにはいいわね。しみるわね。今後もラグーナをよろしくね。
硬いこと言うなよ。
Come back to Laguna whenever you want. This place is called Laguna, Public Bath Laguna. Ah, this was the couple with like the failing marriage. Let's see how they're doing now. Oh, you're from Arkwright Solutions, right? They used to be like this is like an upper class family that like the husband like sort of got demoted. And so because of that, they like spiraled into like disrepair. So now they're in like the cheaper part of town. And like they were having like huge struggles. Like the kid was like over studying and like shutting himself out. And like they were like the parents were like on the verge of having a divorce. And then Van showed up and sort of like, you know, did his like private investigator thing and like sort of told everybody that they were all failing the family and sort of like wet them into shape.
Oh, you're from Arkwright Solutions, right? I'd like to thank you again for helping my son last year.
Also, when you play this game, if you have save data from the previous game, you can load that in, and I'm not sure if that has like effects on like how people treat you based on whether you did their side quests in the previous game, but the game does like read your save data from the previous game, which is cool.
Our family's been making a real effort to be more honest with each other lately. It's done wonders for our relationship.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. There's no need to thank us, though. After all, it sounds like you're the ones who've been putting in the work.
We sure have. By the way, Curtis decided he'd like to take the Aramis entrance exam in the future. We're a bit worried he'll overdo it, but we mean to do everything we can to support him. We only want what's best for him.
It sounds like she's taking this quite seriously. Yeah, guess we should cheer him on as alumni, huh? Yeah, so their son is taking an entrance exam into the school that these two went to.
We think it's best if Curtis makes decisions about his future on his own from now on. Of course, we do worry, but we intend to continue supporting him in whatever way we can. I only want what's best for my boy. Well, perhaps Father Nikolai will have some advice.
Go inside and talk to him. Oh, you're from Arkwright Solutions. You heading out for some work? You know, I've been helping Zora out with the morning housework lately. I'm sure my employees won't mind if I'm a little late to the office. I mean, I'm the one in charge, aren't I? Plus, it lets me spend more time with Curtis. Gotta take care of the whole family, right? Curtis is still as prideful as ever, though. He told me this morning he's not giving up on going to Aramis. Well, I suppose I'll just have to make sure he doesn't overdo it. Yeah, in the last game, he was like studying too hard and he made himself sick. Sure enough, he's still studying.
Alright, I think my test score should be about here now. I'm still barely passing in this subject. No, Curtis, now's not the time to throw in the towel. You can do this. The qualifier's tomorrow. My evaluation needs to be spotless this time.
There's a qualifier to take the exam? Oh man, I feel this kid's pain.
I know a lot's been going on lately, but I've decided I'm going to take the Aramis entrance exam after all. I mean, I am pretty smart. Why not go all the way to the top? No, although I did just barely make the requirements.
Yeah, I feel when you like... when you grow up like thinking that you're like the smartest person among your peers, so you try to like shoot for like an actual like top tier institution, and then you realize that like what you thought was like insanely smart was just like average at like at that higher level. Not that I'm speaking from experience or anything. I believe I talked to everybody in this area. Huh? Oh, I see. It unlocked the completion screen because I got like a completion reward, I think. Menu up. Yeah, there's completion rewards. Okay. Alright, let's see. Let's use some of these. I still don't know how I want to build everybody out. I'll wait until I get to a combat section before I start using my consumables. Alright, let's go to Riverside.
Yosh, iku ka.
By the way, what you doing tomorrow, man? Do you have you think you can make some time for East? February 20th, 10:03 a.m. 6th District, Riverside. Well, here we are. I haven't been here in a couple of months. Last time was when we were knocking a few back with Renee over at Bermati's.
Yes. It was nice that our schedules happened to align for once. I can't recall the last time we've done something like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
That'd be nice, but at this point our lives, free time's a rare commodity. Feels. Man, this place is so peaceful. Hard to believe such a violent incident took place here a few days ago. Apparently a little spat between gangs escalated into a case of manslaughter. With this place being so close to Old Town and all, I've been making sure to keep my ear to the ground.
Yes, that's the story that was fed to the public. However, the police and the guilt suspect
and that girl that just jogged by in the background, also an NPC that had a quest line in the previous game. Actually, I don't know if she had a quest line or not, but I know that like she was like heartbroken, and so she started like jogging to run away from her emotions. And like in the process of jogging, she like struck up like a friendship with like a dude that enjoyed biking, and they became like exercise buddies. And then like she ended up like falling for him by the end of the first game. And I don't know that they ever got together, but like it's just so funny that I could just point to like a random NPC running in the background and being like, I know that character.
The police and the guild suspect it may be related to the serial killer case. The scene of the crime was in the underground maintenance tunnel. It's just past the entrance.
You got it. So it's connected to one of Giacomo's old haunts, huh? Looks like the area's been picked clean for the most part. But yeah, something fishy about that place. And I can smell it. Well, before we head over there, let's drop by Bermati's. I want to ask him about the case.
And that's fine. Shall we then?
Guess what I didn't know how to do? When you get home, you make some time for East? Alright, sounds good, man. Just let me know whenever you got time. If you're not free until Sunday either, then let me know. Still got some tweaking to do. Let's turn the font size up a little bit. Loading screen tips is fine. I wonder if there's an option to turn off all tutorials, because I pretty much know how to do everything. I played the first game entirely in Japanese, and so like learning all of the mechanics and all like the tool tips and stuff in Japanese was was pretty difficult. But because of that, I got a pretty thorough understanding of how everything worked. No, it doesn't look like there's an option to just turn off all tutorial text. There usually isn't a lot, so it should be fine. There may be new mechanics anyways. Okay, so that's Gramati. These two also had their own little like side story in the previous game. Like this lady is like she's like an upper class like rich lady, but like she recently discovered junk food, like street food, and so she was like, what is this? What are these tacos? What is this greasy goodness? She became obsessed with like street food to the point where she would come by this dude's stall every single fucking day and order tacos and like ask if he had any new kind of tacos, and he was like, lady, I just make tacos. I don't know what you're talking about. Like I don't, these aren't gourmet tacos, there's just street tacos. And so like she would order like junk food every single day and then continuously like make suggestions as to like, you know, how he could like arrange them differently. Like, well, what if you tried like using pizza instead of tortilla? And so she was like so insistent that he finally like, he's like, you know what, lady, fine, I'll make one of your goddamn special tacos. And so like he made a special taco and it was a hit. And so now like he hired her to help out with the shop. Also, apparently that's Gordon's voice now. Welcome, you craving some tacos today? How about some of our sides? Primo's been awfully worried about our menu lately. She's actually done a lot of work to flesh it out a little. It's all been pretty well received so far, so I've got no room to complain, even if she does go for the more comfort food side of things. Primo's been spending some time trying to figure out what the other stance is selling. If you see her around here and there, don't worry about it. She says she just can't rest whenever she knows there's a place that hasn't been sampled yet. Yeah, girl. I hear you, man. Chicken taco, beef taco, orange juice. So in this game, it's good to like buy one of every food item because you get like gourmet points every time you eat something new, and then that lets you like learn new recipes and stuff like that. That helps out a lot when it comes to having like consumables that you need for combat. And in this game, consumables are very important. It's not just like, oh, let me save my elixirs. It's like you need to form a strategy around your consumables a lot of the time.
Damn it, Shino. Where the hell do you run off to now? Get scared because you saw how great our tacos are doing? Well, you can't hide forever, you hear me? And who's this guy that took your place? He's selling roasted chestnuts? Well, whatever. Doesn't look all that experienced anyway. I guess he is starting to get a lot of attention. Not on my watch. We will not be relinquishing our title as the #1 food stall in Riverside.
Oh. He only had one piece of dialogue. Oh, Eddie. So I think Eddie was like a delinquent that we like knocked into, he sort of like knocked into making a decent life for himself. I think his mom runs the general store that we just talked to. How's it going, Eddie?
Huh? A customer? Man, I only just finished my prep work too. Okay, well, the chestnuts are ready, so just give me a moment, right? Wait a second. What are you doing here? This is the son of the lady who runs the general store in Old Town, right?
Oh, what's up? Working hard or hardly working? I thought I remembered you selling roasted chestnuts last year. It looks like you made a whole business out of it.
Yeah, I guess. It makes me happy when customers like my product, you know? And it can be kind of fun to figure out how to sell it all to them. If I could just manage to save up a little, I could finally repay my old lady for taking care of me for all those years.
Well, well. Nice to see Felial's sons, don't you think? Your mom must be real proud.
Wait, it's not like that. I'm just doing it to get rid of all my debts to her.
Yeah, I get you. Hard to admit how much you love your mom.
These two are something else. Don't say a word to her, alright? Anyway, just because I left the gang doesn't mean I'm some mama's boy now.
何にすんだ
Take some roasted chestnuts. Thank you.
そんじゃな
What the? This is new. I have like shortcuts? Yo, can I rebind these? Hang on, hang on. Would it be under input? Shortcuts. I can rebind these. Oh, this is fucking sick. I'll leave it at the default for now, but it's good to know that I can rebind those shortcuts whenever I want. Oh hey, there's the biking guy. Alright, that should be enough for today's shopping. Man, biking makes everything so easy. You know, come to think of it, didn't I see Selma out running again? Guess even winter doesn't stop her, huh? I'm impressed. Maybe I should get her something as a reward. There she comes right there. This is Selma.
I'm gonna lose so much weight like this that I'll finally get myself a boyfriend. Well, I say that, but someone's already caught my eye. Wait, no. Lodi's just a friend, Selma. A friend. I mean, it'd be great if we were closer, but I don't want to cause problems. I guess Lodi went out shopping again, huh? Seriously, stop it. Just focus on your running for now. Run away the fields, run away the fields.
Isn't there anything else to say?
これからどうする
どれどれ
Bulletin board is strewn with notes and requests. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything noteworthy here. That's where you get side quests, but obviously it's too early for there to be any side quests. Let's see if the live house is open. Concert hall. Seems like they're only open at night. And then we've across the way we've got the auto garage and the church. Hey, it's these two. These are like street racers. Can't remember which one is which. I think this is Hades' car. Hades? And I think this is Downey's car, maybe? Maybe the other way around? I remember one of them didn't have a car, and then he ended up like splurging and buying this like overexpensive sports car. Are you serious? All the days to sleep in, you just had to choose today. Now you want to get your car washed? Hey, it's Z1 race day. I can't just show up with a dirty car, man. Don't worry so much, Hades. I'm sure we'll still make it in time. Just gotta move on, would you? There's Bradley. I wonder where his daughter's at. Or his niece? No, what's up, Bradley? Working hard or hardly working?
Hey Van, how's that tune-up feeling? Suspension any stronger?
Yeah, feels a load safer now. Thanks for doing that.
Just remember not to go customizing your car all willy-nilly again. You don't want to lose out on any power after all. And if you can't resist switching things out, please make sure you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, understood, boss.
Well, as for you, young lady, you got any problems with your car, just let old Bradley deal with it.
Thank you. I'll keep it in mind.
Wait, what?
How do you know Bradley? We met while I was working on another case. He's quite skilled at his job.
Well, he did used to do work for Ingrid, after all. He's practically a font of mechanical knowledge.
That girl, why's she always taking off when we're at her busiest?
Oh, that's right. Today's...
Race day, I know. I don't usually care what she's up to. All I know is, better not come home begging for new car mods.
I see, so she's out racing. Ingert Wallet. Item drop rate plus 10%. Alright. I should probably buy 2 of these, actually. I'm getting that hunch that I might want 2 of these. I don't remember why, but I think I want 2 of these. I just remember there being like craftable accessories that require you to have 2 of every unique accessory. Or maybe I just would want to craft multiples. Do we have any unique stuff? Nope. Alright. This lady's always standing out here and she never has dialogue, but I think she is like a notable character. Like I think she's the mom of somebody who goes to like the church Sunday school at this church. And she's like, this is like a church and she's basically like a foreigner who usually practices a different religion. Like basically this is like a Christian church and she's like a Muslim. But you know, obviously like not by those names. Those are just like the equivalences. And so like the church sort of like accepted them, even though they're originally from a different faith.
Welcome to our humble temple. Here you can worship in the same manner as those from the Central East. Though it may differ from how many practice in Edith, our faith remains the same wherever you go.
That's right. I guess I have heard there's a lot of variety in the Septian Church.
Indeed, in the Central East, Adios is worshipped as Alusha, the winged goddess.
It's weird that they translated it as Arusha. I would have thought it was Alusha.
But in the East, she's referred to as the Heavenly Mother. And I suppose I've seen a lot of people of Central Eastern descent in the capital. I imagine this must be a sort of gathering place for them.
It gladdens the heart to hear how familiar you two are with our culture. After all, understanding begets connection, does it not? That's why our doors are always open to those unfamiliar with our ways of worship. Many offered their prayers here last year. The tragedy at Creole Village. We did all we could to help those affected by it. To think such shadows can form in the hearts of men. We're hoping to rebuild with the funds we've received from both Elsyme and Valis, but it's difficult to imagine when we'll have the ability to do so. Well, as long as we keep moving forward little by little.
I guess I'm misremembering it, and like it's the other way around, that this is an Arushan church. But I do remember there being like intermingling of faiths. I think there was like a Septian kid that they adopted. Yeah, these two. Yeah. Gotcha. So everybody here's Aleutian, and then there's like 2 kids that are originally not, that they accepted, or 1 kid, this kid. I feel like I should be able to talk to him from this side of the bench. Yeah, there we go. Rooney.
Today Today we're learning about the history and culture of Alzheim. I'm not personally of Central Eastern descent, but I have lots of friends who are, like Lolo and Earl. And there's a lot of interesting stories that come from that region too, so I've been having plenty of fun with it all. And I just need to remember to take notes so I can talk it over with those two. And the Principality of Alzheim is to the south of the Republic. It's a nation with a long and storied history. They've been allies to the Republic for a long time, too. And actually, I think I've even seen their crown prince in the capital on occasion. I guess we are pretty close, huh? I did my homework today. I usually forget, but Rooney came to remind me this morning. I don't know if I got any of the answers right, but at least I did them. Other curious classes are so interesting. The ones back in Alzheim were never any fun. I think I'm kind of used to the Republic now. And I've made some friends too. Yeah, Sunday school's the best.
さてと
Priest Kira. Oh, good afternoon. We were just about to start our lessons for today. We may primarily teach children of Central Eastern descent here, but we also teach the neighborhood children as well. They're all wonderful, honestly. I just know they'll grow into the kindest adults. With my help, of course. I don't think there's anybody upstairs. There's another entrance to the underground there. That's everything to do. Let's go to Bermotti.
Ara, Ban-chan ni Elaine-chan じゃない。
よ、邪魔するぜ。
こんにちは、ベルモッティさん。
いらっしゃい。二人とも時々飲みに来てくれてるけど、一緒にっていうのは久しぶりね。やだ、まさかデートかしら？もうなんで私に黙ってたのよ。いけず。
違いますから。
勝手に色めき立ってんじゃねえよ。店を開けたところみたいだな。ちょうどいい。話を聞かせてもらえねえか。
例の事件についてね。いいわ、座ってちょうだい。私もちょっと気になることがあってね。例の映像ならキンケイドくんづてで私のところにも回ってきたわ。とんでもないことになってきたわね。噂になってた猟奇殺人鬼がまさかあんな。
I'm sure you're well aware why the guild and the CID have you pegged to the culprit. And why they think so is beyond me. Perhaps it has something to do with the incident in Tharbad, the strange happenings in the capital 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's complicated. And there are other parties involved besides me, so honestly, I'm not sure how much I'm at liberty to say. Sorry, I know our usual bit involves more give and take, but we could really use some info. Am I doing me a solid here?
Oh, very well. I would say, what's the secret between us seedy types, but I suppose even we have one or two that we'd rather keep under our hats. But remember, if you ever need someone to confide in, my door is always open. Thank you, Bermotti.
You're a real one, man.
Now then, here's all I know about the incident 3 days ago. It happened right here in Riverside too, so naturally, I looked into the matter. I learned it transpired at the same time as when the power went out here.
Wait, you had a power outage?
Indeed, I did. All Orbital-related facilities in the store were affected. The lights, fridge, jukebox, everything stopped all at once. As you can well imagine, it caused quite the stir, even apart from the incident. And that's strange. Shouldn't those devices be operating independently? It's almost like some sort of orbital shutdown phenomenon occurred. Yeah, it should be impossible for them to all shut down simultaneously. That is, unless there was some kind of outside interference, like with what happened in Liberl that one time over half a decade ago. The outage was over just as soon as it started, so it wasn't widely reported. But I still did some digging, and I found out every place in the surrounding area had similar outages. I've yet to determine the cause, but regardless, I find the whole affair rather suspect.
Can't say I blame you. Well, if we find out anything about this, you'll be the first to know.
助かるぜ、ベルモッティ。この借りはまたいずれな。
もう水臭いこと言わないで。私たちの仲じゃない。エレインちゃんにも世話になってるし、最大限サポートさせてもらうから。
頼もしいです。
These two. So, these two. This girl is a manga author, mangaka. And this is her editor. And like, Coconut like never really wants to do any work. She just wants to hang out at this bar and eat sweets all day. And so like, her editor Cronin sort of like tries to help push her along and like persuade her and like bribe her with like food and sweets. And then sure enough, like when she actually does like write literally anything, it ends up always being a hit.
Why can't I think of anything? Drawing battle scenes is just the worst. Just what am I doing with my life anyway?
Miss Coconut, pull yourself together. Oh no, it's happening again. You're our most popular artist right now, please. Even if we only have your name.
Okay.
But even if we only have your name? I don't think that was a I don't think that was the right translation there, because the name is like a loan word in Japanese for like the first draft of like a work, like the storyboards. So I feel like he was trying to say you've only given us your storyboards so far, even if it's just the storyboards or something like that. But maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe he meant to say even if it's in name only. I don't know. That even if we only have your name doesn't sound like the right translation there.
Okay, how about this? We end the chapter. And bam! Bravely Legends will be taken to the underground for its next arc. And that means I need to do some research. Therefore, the comic will be on hiatus for the foreseeable future. It's genius!
Miss Coconut, you'd really go that far? Alright, understood. I'll do everything in my power to support you.
Wait, what?
Two heads are better than one after all. So, what are we researching? Oh, he's still supportive now.
Don't you think you're looking a little intense there, Cronin? Seriously, you don't have to worry about me. I'll be fine.
Well, we're a team, aren't we? With two of us. We'll have your research finished in no time.
That's my chance for time off.
Miss Coconut's a best-selling comic book artist. Ask any kid around here what Bravely Legends is, and they'll tell you. She goes by a male pen name, though, so nobody actually knows who she really is. Please don't tell anyone else, alright?
it's always a pleasure to see you two working together. And to think your relationship is thriving once more. Just make sure you don't mess up this time, Van.
Can you stop already?
ご注文をどうぞ。
A wonderful kiss. Ooh. Here's KO. Peppery salad. Hearts resistance up. Why does it say resistance now? But I'm pretty sure it should be defense. Hearts resistance? Did they rename defense to resistance?
また来てちょうだいね。
Now you still have defense and arts defense, so what is resistance? I don't know, it's not here. Alright, well, guess I'm not gonna worry about that. Damage resistance. Arts resistance. Yeah, these two are pretty much frontline fighters. That doesn't matter. Gather info, it says. What else is there to gather info from? I totally didn't see these fishers down here. Makino and Shannon. Huh.
Man, fishing really is the best. I wonder what I'll catch today. Just make sure you don't fall in the river again, alright?
Well, this is a first. You normally only find old geezers fishing out here.
Oh, you got the bug too? Or maybe you're an experienced angler, aren't you? Me personally, I'm just a beginner. Only got my start thanks to Makino here.
Well, he certainly knows his way around a fishing rod. I remember you used to invite me and Renee on your trips to the lake when we were kids. Oh yeah, guess we did do that, huh? I'll do it whenever the itch hits, but I haven't really had much of a chance lately.
That's no good. Fishing is one of the highlights of life. Actually, my grandfather runs a bait and tackle shop here in Edith. Here, take this. He ordered an overstock of supplies recently.
Hey, fishing set. While I appreciate the freebies, I probably won't have to use it anytime soon.
That's alright. Just keep it for whenever the urge hits you. And by the way, we put up pictures of all our catches on our socials. We go by the name Piscatorial Party.
On social media, huh? I guess I've heard lots of people use it as a place to show off their hobbies.
Fishing groups seem to be quite popular on social media lately, particularly those from the Empire and Liberal.
And I think the Republic still views fishing as something best left to the professionals, however.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a bummer sometimes, but that's what makes finding new fishing buddies such a treat. Well, join us, won't you?
Well, I guess I don't mind. I'll go ahead and keep the gear then. Maybe I should try my hand at it again. Hey, fishing's been unlocked.
Oh yeah, your name's Van, right? I look forward to fishing with you. And if you're interested, make sure to check out our socials. I guess Shannon's really got you in her sights. Oh, and before I forget, my grandfather's shop is over in the center marsh. If you ever need any more supplies, go ahead and pop on by, yeah?
Alright, thanks. can I cast?
腕が鳴るな。
Oh, it tells you the probabilities for what you could potentially catch. Wow, that saves a lot of guess and check work.
そら。ここだ。
Okay. How do I... Oh, I see. They changed the fishing minigame a little bit.
ゲットだ。
Alright, let's hit a cheeky little save. I am absolutely not above save scumming to make sure I don't waste all my bait fishing. I want that rare one though. I don't think this is the fish that I want. Alright, let's test to see if intentionally fucking this up doesn't use the bait. It does use the bait. In previous games, you could intentionally fuck up reeling in the fish. And then you get to keep the bait. Carp. Yep. Sounds good. Yeah, good to know that you can't actually can't like cancel, or maybe you can. Hang on, let's test again. Maybe I didn't do this thoroughly enough. Maybe there's a way like back out. You can back out of this stage, obviously. When you cast, obviously you could just not cancel here. But I think once you actually have it biting, you can't cancel. Oh, I can just go down here, right?
現場はあそこね。
ちょうど警部たちがいるな。
お疲れ様、アルビス君。
警部殿もご苦労さんだ。
さん、今日は非番じゃ。ってお前は。
裏解決や。何の用だ。
釣れないね。ただの野じ馬さ。永久遊撃士の仕事ぶりの見学ついでにね。
エレインさん、どうしてオフにこんなやつと二人で？
ん？オフだけど少し調べたいことができてね。ちょっと事情があって同行してもらってるの。大丈夫よ。私が一緒にいる以上、遊撃士規約に反する行為はさせないから。
いえ、そういうことじゃなくて。
ま、心中察するぜ。
察するな。
You just stop, just like continuing the auto when the voices stop.
I'd done a sweep of this area as part of the guild's investigation of the incident, but I'd like to take another look. Would that be a problem?
I guess news of that Hercules incident has started making the rounds. Fine. I'm not gonna turn down a request from an A-rank racer. Bear in mind, though, the site's mostly been cleaned up already. I'd be interested to hear what you make of this case, Arkwright.
Sure thing, Inspector. Follow me, you two. There's still so much blood left over. And it's already been 3 days.
And it's not like they could have covered it all up. I imagine it must have been a terrible scene.
And there were 3 victims. To say their bodies were in bad shape would be the understatement of the year. They were crushed by some extraordinary power, and then torn limb from limb. At least, that's the impression I get.
I've seen a lot of murder scenes, but this might be the worst one yet. There's no way a human could have done all of this. I won't believe it.
Gotcha. So have you identified the victims?
Yeah, we barely had anything to identify. All we could glean was that what little was left was that they were part of some organized crime groups. There was no proof that a transaction transpired beforehand.
Well, there goes the deal that went up at Smoke Theory. This is a tough one. No wonder the investigation stalled.
What did he just...
Honestly, I'm not convinced there were only 3 victims here.
Wait, what? Ah, look, there's a stain over here.
Looks like something brushed up against the spot, but how'd it get here?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but there's some blood mixed into it. There's also a faint trail along the tracks over there. It might have been from another victim fleeing the scene. Maybe he hightailed it out of here while his friends were being slaughtered.
Wait, do you seriously think there's another victim? But they were all killed, weren't they? Why are you so confident that you're right?
Trade secret. Anyway, the part about him taking flight's just a theory, but I'm positive that's blood over there.
I'll trust your instincts then. I'll call forensics and have them come by immediately. If there was a survivor, it'll be an important witness.
I feel like I might have just derailed their investigation a bit.
More than just a bit, I'd say. I can't say I expect the possibility of a survivor. I'm assuming that trade secret of yours with the tech you received from Rosette?
Bingo. Forgot I told you about that. Before the start of the new year, she asked me to give it a test run, so I use it every once in a while. Works pretty well. Doubt it'll be long before it becomes a standard issue.
Well, I suppose it came in handy this time at least. Thanks to that, we found a very important clue. Maybe it'll come in handy throughout the rest of our investigation.
Alright, I think we've learned all we could from Riverside.
The next place on the agenda is the Grand Circuit. We can depart whenever you're ready.
Oh, come on, it won't let me destroy this box. Come on.
腕が鳴るな。
Can't say I'm happy about taking advice from somebody outside the force, but thanks for the help. We'll get those bloodstains analyzed right away. Hopefully they'll be able to shed some light on what really happened.
So really were survivors? Damn. Well, we better find them before it's too late. I'll reach out to Hazel and everyone else at the Bracer Guild. Please do. Thank you, Albus. As for you, Spriggan, we appreciate the help, but don't go getting all uppity about it. Don't think for a second that my opinion of you has changed.
Yeah, I hear ya. It's not gonna let me go this far.
こっちじゃねえ
Yeah. Chijanina. No combat for me just yet. Oh, there's the run button. I was looking for that.
Yakiguri, 食いたいやつはいるか?
Yakiguri.
うちの屋台が一番ですわよ。
よし行く
Grand Circuit. I don't remember spending very much time here in the first game, if at all.
So this is the Grand Circuit. I'm sure you're no stranger to this place, but with your passion for all things car-related?
I drop by to catch a race every now and again, yeah. I also come here during my rounds. People post 4 SPGs here. Do you hear there's going to be a Grand Prix exhibition race today?
Yes, I read about it in the Tyrell Times. They said Maxim Lugan will be taking part.
Oh, I remember him. It ought to be a damn good show. You know, it's hard to imagine a bunch of murders taking place among all the peaceful hustle and bustle.
Yet that's exactly what happened. And only 2 weeks ago at that.
Sucks.
The actual scene of the crime is in a back alley a little ways away from here. A full 2 weeks have passed between then and now, so I doubt we'll find as many clues as we did in Riverside.
Yeah, never know till you try.
In any event, let's head to the street on our left.
It's over in that general area. Is that a rock climbing wall? Is it a giant rock climbing wall? Is it a giant outdoor rock climbing wall? What the fuck? Yeah, this area is definitely new. Oh yeah, since they mentioned it, let's read the Tyrell Times that I bought. Oh, can I? Oh, no, I gotta use it from a different menu. What menu is it under? Notes? Aha, Tyrell Times. 30th anniversary. Mutual Development Pact. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the signing of the Mutual Development Pact between the Calvard Republic and the Principality of El-Saim, an occasion which has brought about an air of jubilation in both nations. Consequently, the Republic of and El-Saim have welcomed diplomatic delegations from both countries with open arms and festivals and other... Hang on here.
Now the celebratory events which ran from the beginning of the year and concluded at the end of last month. In the middle of January, President Gramhart paid a visit to Ludos, the capital of El-Saim. After participating in the tour of the city, he was granted an audience with the Principality's Grand Prince Salman. He then proceeded to host a press conference with Prince Sharid, where the two announced the formalization of a new partnership between their nations, focused on collaborative infrastructure development and resource surveying. The president confidently declared that this new arrangement would usher in a new era of peace and prosperity for all. Prince Sharid, meanwhile, reaffirmed his country's dedication to maintaining friendly relations with the Republic and expressed his hopes that they would become increasingly open with one another. The MDP's roots can be traced back shortly after the horrible revolution. The Verne Company, under guidance of Professor Hamilton, set to work on improving the local government and infrastructure of El-Saim and its surrounding areas. Resulting architectural advancements in Ludos, in addition to efforts to cultivate greenery, opened the doors for many industries to enter El-Saim, which in turn led to an economic windfall in the Republic. A key takeaway from these events was that the collaboration between two nations and leveraging each other's strengths begets far greater gains for both parties than mere unilateral aid, a principle that would eventually serve as the ideological foundation of the MDP. Since its signing, El-Saim has bolstered investments in the Verne Company, and the construction of a resort in Tharbad was conducted and completed in record time, both of which are widely attributed to the Pact's unassailable benefits. More eyes were drawn to the celebrations after the surprise appearance of Princess Zita Asval of the pact signing. Between her strikingly head-turning looks and the ardent support she showed her brother, Prince Sharid, the Elsyme princess left many of the event in awe. Princess Zita was known to be a remarkably intelligent young woman, and many prominent figures throughout the Principality have high hopes for her future. According to a statement from the Elsyme embassy, she's currently touring the Republic in an effort to broaden her understanding of Calvert's culture and industries. Culture. Z1 exhibition race, the road to the finals. Today, a Z1 exhibition race will be held in Edith's Grand Circuit. The world of Z1 racing is abuzz with speculation about who will win the final race of the series, scheduled to take place next month. Defending Z1 champion Maxim Lugan has won the past 3 series and hopes to set an all-time record for 4 consecutive wins by taking first place this year as well. However, the Red Comet's lofty ambitions can very well come crashing to the ground because Team Ingert's Arslan, a rising star of the world of Z1, has entered the racing ring. Although Arslan is only in his mid-20s, don't let his age fool you. This up-and-coming racing prodigy has shattered multiple records all on his own, causing many to believe that he has what it takes to be the reigning champ. Today's exhibition match will mark the first official clash of wheels between Maxim and Aslan. Racing fans all over the city are excited to watch this bout, many of which are calling it the prelude to the series finals. Finance, a fun and the fast track to post-reparation prosperity. Following the end of the Erebonian Empire's reparation payments, many speculated that the Republic's time of economic prosperity would come to an end. But in spite of these fears, the Verne Company, a leading Calvardian enterprise, posted a strong start to 1209. According to the company representatives, Verne has amassed a healthy war chest over the past few years and strengthened its manufacturing infrastructure and market position. In light of its product's wide reach and soaring demand from foreign markets, Verne is expected to match or even exceed their previous year's profit records. Furthermore, concerns over the delayed release of the T-Phone, a consumer-grade communications device developed exclusively within Republic, was dispelled when the product went on sale last month just in time for the end of the fiscal year. Verne's excessive rate of growth is likely not only to the T-Phone's explosive sales, but also the recent corporate structuring with the company's executive staff. Verne has adopted a policy of reform to combat problems that were made apparent over the course of the past year, and is committed to improving its operations from their baseline all the way up to its board of directors. Widespread accidents and violence plunge capital into chaos. Since the start of the new year, outbreaks of violence believed to be the result of warring organized crime groups have plagued Edith. Just yesterday, there were reports of a scuffle on the premises of a government-owned warehouse. While officials deny any terrorist involvement and insist that the incident was nothing more than a simple accident, unrest continues to percolate within the general populace. There's a sentiment among some of the citizenry that public order has begun to deteriorate, and that the recent economic boom has had a destabilizing effect on the psychological state of criminals and malefactors. In response to those claims, authority figures had this to say: "We will continue to investigate and resolve any incidents or accidents that may occur. In the meantime, we encourage all citizens to carry on with their lives and to not feed the spread of disorder through baseless conjecture and fear-mongering." New Trion Mall shops on the block. Join us at the foot of the capital's signature landmark, Trion Tower, to experience the greatest and largest commercial facility in all of Edith, Trion Mall. This shopping stomping ground is home to 2 brand new stores that have taken the Republic of Calvert by storm. First and foremost is the Verne store, which has been the talk of the town since its grand opening last year. From there, you can get your very own T-Phone, the latest and hottest commodity in the communication technology, and have it serviced at the very same store by Verne's dedicated customer support team. If you have even the slightest interest in the T-Phone, feel free to swing by and take a peek. Your satisfaction is a Verne guarantee. Next up, the Liberal Boutique, which opened at the end of January. Offering an authentic taste of the southwestern edge of the continent, the Liberal Boutique sells goods and souvenirs sourced straight from the Liberal Kingdom itself. It offers exhibitions you can enjoy while you peruse their wares. Due in large part to the lovely manager and staff, all of whom are citizens of the kingdom, the store feels like the genuine Liberalian article. Have you always wanted to visit the Liberal Kingdom yourself, but just couldn't find the time for a trip? Then stop by and make your dreams a reality, because now you can experience the wonders of Liberal without ever having to set foot outside the Republic.
Good old Tyrell times.
I've never seen a Z1 car that was anything less than gorgeous. Form follows function, and the function here is speed, speed, and more speed. The result? Peak mechanical beauty.
当アンテナショップでは Z1 公式グッズを販売するほか、過去の名シーンの展示もご覧いただけます。
I love how thick the lore
実
is.
際のレースで使われた貴重な品々もありますので、どうぞ心置きなくご観覧ください。
The point where like you can read an entire fucking newspaper of 9 pages like that, and every single beat of like every single article in that story was stuff that you either encountered in the last game and or stuff that you will encounter in this game, and it's fucking great.
まあ好きに見ていくがいいさ。
Z1 公式
Racing
グッズを販売
gloves.
するほか、過去の名シーンの展示も
I'll take two of those.
実際のレースで使われた貴重な品々もありますので。 どうぞ心置きなくご観覧ください。
The way things had been going, it was practically guaranteed that I would inherit ETWS someday. But that's all been fouled up now. It only makes sense that my grandfather was let go. They'd really have to oust my father from the board of directors too? I think this guy's the grandson of ETWS's former president.
You mean Mr. Dalty, after what happened in Oracion? Both he and my father were unseated from their positions. But for his grandson to be working here of all places, and perhaps this is his way of gaining some real-world experience.
I won't pretend to know the details, but it's probably not too far off. The part that truly confounds me is the way my uncle became ETWS's new president. All his claims about being an immigration advocate from the start, that was the first I'd ever heard of it. Yeah, references to some of the endgame occurrences of Daybreak 1. Damien. Lucio can't pull off a suit for shit.
Give him a break, he's making the best of it. Yeah, no matter how far Lucio falls, our bond as High Bloods is unbreakable. When it comes down to it, he's the only one who can lead us.
True enough.
There's pals, and pals don't leave each other behind.
The High Bloods, they were like a biker gang of like rich Nepo baby kids. Or not a biker gang, like a street racing gang. They were like the rivals of the others that we saw in Riverside. I doubt there's anything here, but... Nope. Ooh, unsweetened canned coffee. Guarana milk. A habit-forming drink that effectively pairs guarana and milk. Isn't guarana like an addictive like energy drink component? Hey, Belmont. Yeah. I don't care what any of you say. Red Star simply can't be beat.
I beg to differ. Gert is heads and shoulders above the rest. No way, it's gotta be ETWS, they're the best bet, hands down.
And like a family that all has like different preferences in racing teams. Somebody up here at the first wheel.
観覧車定番の人気スポットだな。レース場が一望できるってのも好評らしいぜ。
That's cool. If you can't afford tickets, you can just ride the Ferris wheel.
今回の調査からはちょっと外れそうだけど。
Oh, you don't want to go to a Ferris wheel date? Welcome to the Grand Circuit's feature attraction, the Ferris wheel. Its main draw is that the overhead view you get of the entire racetrack. Let me know if you're interested, and I'll set you up with a gondola.
You gotta admit, I am tempted.
Oh? And who would you invite along for the ride, Playtell? Alright, fine, get the picture.
Let's see, I wonder if there's options for the, like, auto-progress timing for some of the dialogue. Auto advance speed. Yeah, I think I wanted it slowest. Because when it's voiced, the auto advance is, it just goes with the in time with the voicing. But when it's not, I need to not go quickly. So I basically have time to turn it off. It doesn't look like there's an option to make like the field text go by, I mean the field dialogue go by faster. Hugo. Admission's free today, so we've had a lot more people coming in and out of the premises. That's why we've got more security than usual, too. Let me actually set that to instant. Oh hey, it's the badass taxi driver, Giordano.
Phew, thank Adios, we made it in time. I lost all hope when we hit that traffic jam. The shortcut you took was wild. Where'd you learn to drive like that anyhow?
You can cool it with kudos, brother. All I did was take the optimal route, the optimal speed to get you daddy-os where you need to go. Outside that itty-bitty philosophy, I'm just your average cabby, baby. Must have been fate that brought you into my seats. You ever need another ride? Giordano's got you covered, brother.
Wow, this one cool cat.
Hey, long time no see, brother. Out in the town with the guild's creme de la creme. Now, I'm not looking to poke my oars where they aren't welcome. But if you and Beauty's Blade here ever need a lift, just stick out your thumb, dig?
Good old Giordano. An NPC here that I neglected to talk to? Oh yeah, the guy at the ticket booth.
Are you looking to purchase a ticket? That actually won't be necessary. Since all of today's races are exhibition matches, the Speedway is open to the public right now. So feel free to head in at your leisure. The Z1 Grand Prix awaits.
Okay. 3 races today.
クライミングウォールか。楽しそうね。もう少し高さがあればいいのだけど。
You wish it was taller?
いやいや、十分高いだろ。
十分高いだろ。
お前の運動能力を基準にしてもな。
Betty, looking to do some bouldering? Just check in with me. It doesn't matter how in or out of shape you are, everybody's welcome. We've got multiple plans geared towards different fitness levels. So come on by and work up a healthy sweat.
Who's this guy? Ralph. Bouldering, huh? It's like rock climbing, but in a more controlled environment. I'm not so sure that a couch potato like me would have much fun with it, though. I remember this being a problem in the previous game, that if I turn up the voice volume, that also affects, like, yeah, the background, like, audio over the radios and stuff. Or maybe that's the environmental volume? Let's wait for it to play again, and then I can test.
Brittany. I pick girls at the racetrack, I'll have figures to die for. I know it probably takes a lot of unseen effort to maintain them, but that doesn't make me any less jealous.
Yeah, I think that was environmental volume that affected that. I can afford to turn the voice up again. I'm a huge stickler for audio balancing, for audio mixing. Although with the compressors, it probably none of this is like that noticeable. Gunner. Don't ask how, but the sound of Z1 cars roaring around the track makes a good beer that much tastier. A symphony of cars vying to outpace the pack. Didn't ask for better background music. Fair weather days like these are the perfect time for an afternoon beer. How about it, you two? Grab a seat and I'll treat you around. Believe me, I'd be down if we weren't on the clock.
Perhaps we could stop by for a drink some other time.
I'll buy a drink anyways. This beer cures KO. Beer normally does the opposite. Alright, this area is actually pretty decently sized. Not like an excessive amount of NPCs everywhere. I've already explored pretty much everything here. How do I map? Aha. What is this? Oh, the fuck?
What in the world is this?
I couldn't say, but it's bizarre as all hell.
Why is it here in the middle of the city? You don't suppose it's an explosive device?
Nah, I'm not getting a whiff of anything dangerous. Looks like it's fitted with some sort of orbital locking mechanism. Yeah, if that's all the protection it's got, I might actually be able to get it open.
No? By what means?
Marduk gave me a little trick for this kind of thing. Might as well give it a shot. We're gonna have like a lockpicking minigame? Certain treasure boxes are equipped with orbital locks that can only be opened via hacking. While hacking, you'll switch to a mode where you control Mare through an orbital maze. The difficulty of the maze changes depending on its security level. As the story is progressive, items that you missed may be placed in the bargain bin of specific vendors. Gotcha. Alright, let's check this out. I like this music. If you come within range of a defense unit, you will be returned to the starting point. Okay. Oh, it's just like locked to a grid. Like dungeon crawling. Oh, but it's like... Oh, it's like roguelike movement. But I am timed. Put the code before the yellow meter runs out. Press Y to enter input mode. Enter the correct code starting from left to right. If you make an error, you have to start the code from the beginning. Arts driver with basic earth arts.
I see. So it's a hacking system that uses a holo as an avatar. Or perhaps I should call it a feature specific to your holo in particular.
Yeah, it renders the protection of a virtual space, then disables it through a specialized procedure. I've never tried it myself before though. Glad I didn't embarrass myself.
Your tricks of the trade never fail to surprise me. Just try not to use them for anything illicit. On a separate note, what do you suppose this was doing here in the first place?
Good question. Almost feels like they wanted somebody to crack it. Doesn't seem dangerous though, so we can take on any others we find down the road too.
Not a speck of prudence in you, is there? Alright, so that was an orbs driver. An arts driver. Let's see, where do those go? Orbment? Alright, so I've got Storm, Mirage, and Amber now. So these just control what arts you have. So Storm gives me Crest, Spark Edge, and Aerial Dust. Aerial Dust is pretty good to have early on. Argent Thorn, Breath, Crescent Eye. Ooh, Crescent Eye and Breath are very good for her. Earthbreaker, Tear, and Escuria. I think right now, having Tear is probably pretty useful. I doubt Curia is going to come in handy. Yeah, I think Amber's better for Van right now. I doubt I have any cores other than Mare and Nagi. And so the crime scene's just past here, yeah? Damn, must be blocked off for construction or something. Actually, the CID put this here to stave off any curious onlookers. The public was informed that there was a shootout between rival gangs. They found a few unidentified descendants here. Dissidents here, like in Riverside. Normally I'd vote to bust this wall down and let ourselves in, but there's just too many people around here. Besides, I doubt there'll be many leftover clues to sniff out, like you said earlier. But we might learn something over at the Grand Prix. A lot of people come and go this way because of it. If we're lucky, we might find someone who remembers what happened that night. I suppose we have nothing to lose at this point. Yume and Paulette are there now, yes? And why don't we check up on them? Sure, sounds good to me. Hmm?
エキシビションレースは確か無料開放されていたわね。
ああ、そろそろ大詰めのはずだが。
皆様、グランサーキットへようこそ。白熱のZ1 グランプリ決勝への前哨戦を見事に制しました。
Wow, that was rather exciting. I know they broadcast these on the radio and on the city screens, but it's just so much more engaging in person.
Yeah, you said it. The Jay's been on a roll lately. He's just been getting better and better all the time. But he still can't afford to rest on his laurels, or he'll be left in the dust by this year's new rising star. The 1209 Grand Prix is going to be an event to remember, and I can feel it.
Look, a little me intrigued. Perhaps I'll keep an eye on the finals then. Alright, once things settle down a little, we can start casing the place. I'm really hoping we can secure a win for Inger this year. ETWS is really something though. Maxim Lugan won't be stepping down from the throne without a fight. So Piku's just gonna have to work that much harder. Yes, I knew Maxim could do it. This year's championship title is as good as his. Oh, don't sound so sure of yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if Ingurt's rising star snatched the victory out from under him.
Team Leno's been in a rut for several years now. In fact, they're already out of the running for this year's Grand Prix. Still, I'm not the type who roots for the underdog more often than not. Oh, I am the type that roots for the underdog more than not. We'll be back with a vengeance one of these days. You can count on that.
I want to grow up to be a race car driver. And one day I can join Grandpa's favorite team and bring home the Grand Prix trophy for Leno.
Keep at it, kid. Don't let your dreams be memes. Well, hello, if it isn't Lin May and Leslie.
Is Maxim Lugan the smoothest driver you ever seen, or what? With him behind the wheel, ETWS has this Grand Prix in the bag. Remember to cheer him on, okay? Maxim used to drive for Red Star. That's where his nickname, the Red Comet, came from. But it wasn't until he left for ETWS that it became a breakout success. You can imagine why a Red Star pit girl like me isn't all that taken with him.
Maxim never loses his touch. But Aslan's made some real headway taking that second place spot. One time it gets a racer fired up, it's a worthy rival. I'll bet that boy's keeping Maxim on his toes.
No, there's Yume. No, here's Idas, Downey, Graham, and Juniper. These two made their way fucking down here before we could. I guess they do have cars.
Oh man, that really got my heart racing. You feeling it too, Van? Wait, Van?
Hey, I knew you'd come. Wasn't that so exciting? They sure were cutting those corners real close.
Well, I only managed to catch the last half, but what I saw was pretty great. Guess that's the Red Comet for you.
Hey, is he on a date? That lady seems like a real catch.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like I've seen her somewhere better before, though. And don't be sticking your nose where it doesn't belong.
So, Van's acquainted with this crew of street racers, is he? I do recall them lending a hand during last year's incident.
They seem like good kids overall.
Oh, excuse me, miss. My name's Juniper. Sorry to interrupt your date, but did you maybe want to watch the award ceremony with us?
I appreciate the offer, but we have some business to take care of. Maybe we can catch up about the race after we're done, though.
さすが大人。デートの言葉聞いて、驚かない、動揺しない。
I love how, like, you know, we're playing a game with like adults, so like the anime trope of like,
date! It's not a date!
It doesn't happen. They're just like, yeah, sure, we're on a date, why not? There's been a new up-and-comer on the scene, a Central Eastern racer named Aslan. Even though he's a few steps behind Maxim Lugan, though. There's still some time before the Grand Prix. Things will shake out in the end as anyone's guess. Damn, you ever see anything so awesome? Watching these Z1 cars from up close has me falling in love all over again. Ah, crap, my blood pressure's shooting up. Hey, Heidi's, we're going for a joyride after this. Wait, what? You just want an excuse to put the pedal to the metal again, don't you? Guilty! Downey kept me from seeing the first half of it, but boy, the rest of that race was incredible. Small wonder that a top contender like Maxim took first place. Oh man, I want to be just like him. And time for MILF.
Maxim Lugan 選手。いやー、危なげなく見事優勝を手にされましたね。
何？ 今まで積み重ねてきたものとファンの皆さんの応援のおかげさ。この勝利を捧げるよ、観客席の天使たちにね。
やれやれ、マシンに乗ってる間はチャンピオンなんだがな。
マリエルさんも頑張っているわね。
バンも来てたの。ってあれ、エレインちゃんだ。
こんにちは、ゆめちゃん。ポーレットさんも。
こんにちは。珍しい組み合わせでもないのかしら。
ああ、ちょっとした仕事でな。
最後の方しか見られませんでしたが、すごいレースでしたね。
マクシムのおじさんすごかったね。ビューンって超速かった。
ま、レース上じゃ右に出る者はいねえな。今年は手強いライバル候補もいるし、本戦はまだわからねえだろうが。
そうね。あとは頑張りと集中力次第でしょ。今日みたいに妙に観客席を意識しすぎていると難しいかしら。
手厳しいね。
ユメ、本戦も見る。おじさんを応援してあげないと。
マクシムさんも100人力でしょうね。
ここでスポンサーを代表してこの方から記念カップが授与されます。エルザイム広告ジータースバール工場店か。
おめでとうございます、ルーガン選手。実に見事なレースでしたね。決勝でのご活躍も楽しみにしています。
光栄です、麗しのプリンセス。
あのお姉ちゃん、お姫様なんだ。
エルザイム皇太子シェリド殿下の妹君か。
へえ、今回のレースに広告が出資してるのは聞いてたが。ああ、妹君がいらっしゃるんでしたね。だいぶ年が離れた。
これがまた私の立つ背がなくなるくらい頭の切れる娘でね。王位継承予定ながら不甲斐ない兄を支えようと何かと口を出してくる始末さ。
確かまだ17、8歳だったか。聞いてた通り兄貴よりしっかりしてそうだな。
チャンピオンのレースを間近に見られたのはまさしく強行でした。特に最後のデッドヒートは胸躍るようで、あのパーフェクトドライバー2の名シーンが蘇るようでしたね。
あの映画も見ていただけましたか。重ねて光栄の至りです。ポーレットたちへの絶好のアピールチャンス。いやー、当時のオファーはまさしく運命的でした。演じたマックス選手も僕に通じるところがありまして。
それは興味深いお話ですね。何でも全てのレースシーンがノースタントで撮影されたとか。映画産業と Z1 レースを進行する我が国としてはぜひ3のロケ地としての名乗りを。
はあ、なんだこの熱量とオーラは。
I don't think that's information that you could just
工
divulge.
場殿下も含めて改めてインタビューさせていただければ。長くなりそうだし、私たちはこの辺で失礼するわね。
They just get bored.
夕方の仕込みもあんだろうしな。
ねえママ、夢観覧車になりたいな。
ちょっとだけよ。それじゃあね、バンさんたち。
はい、お気をつけて。
さてと。
Hate to see her leave, but I love to watch her watch her.
面倒だが。
Why did they make the mom the hottest character in this whole game?
ええ、せっかくだしマリエルさんにも話を聞いておきたいところね。
ポ コーレットたちは？
あれ、あそこにいるのは、まあ、兄様から聞いていた。
After the award ceremony drew to a close, Van and Elaine met up with Marielle. They decided to have a little chat with her in the beer garden outside. Hard-boiled shortcake is the name of this song. Love it.
奇遇ですね、まさにエレイさん。まさかお二人で観戦に来てたなんて思いませんでしたけど。
いろいろと事情があってね。それについての話をしたくて。でもその前に最近頑張ってるみたいね。
お前さんが俗っぽいレースの取材を精力的にやってるなんてな。政治記者志望とか言ってなかったか？
今年からどんどん仕事の幅を広げていきたいなと思ってまして、あの人の背中に追いつくためにも、いつか乗り越えていくためにも、今はとにかく精進あるのみですから。
そうかい。ま、やりたいことが見えてんなら俺から言うことは何もねえ。せいぜいやるだけやってみるといい。あいつの背中に恥じねえようにな。
私も応援しているわ、マリエルさん。同じく道半ばの身としてもね。
はい、ありがとうございます。ところでお二人が動いている事情っていうのは？そっちもスクープの匂いがプンプンしますけど。
ああ、改めてお前さんにも話を聞かせてもらうか。
Van and Elaine caught Marielle up to speed on the ongoing murder case.
So the rumors were true. The police and the CID have been keeping a tight lid on the situation, but that doesn't stop me from digging into it on my own.
Oh yeah? Well, that makes this easy for us.
Did your investigation bear any fruit?
もしかするとなんですけど。
What does that mean?
私、犯人に遭遇したことあるかもしれません。
Huh? Wait, what? Are you serious?
Are you serious? You really ran into them? Well, I'm not, like, 100% sure. I guess it's possible my mind was playing tricks on me. It all happened 2 weeks ago. I was covering the final qualifying round of the Z1 Grand Prix. For some reason, my camera was acting a little funny that day, so I left in a hurry to get it checked. And because I was in a rush, I took a route that, in hindsight, wasn't exactly the safest. And then I came face to face with a man wearing a black trench coat. He had his hat pulled down over his eyes, so I couldn't get a good look at his face. But I realized immediately he was bad news. The moment I saw him, I was totally paralyzed from head to toe. While I was standing there, completely frozen in place, he walked right past me. When I was finally able to turn around, he was gone. And the next morning, I heard there were bodies found near that very same passageway. Well, the police told the press they were victims of a gang fight, but I didn't buy that for a second.
I love how this would be absolute profiling if, like, people in this universe didn't have, like, genuine auras. And the fact that she was, like, paralyzed in fear meant that the guy was, like, strong enough that he exuded, like, an aura that she subconsciously picked up on and was terrified of. Otherwise, I'd be like, well, he was wearing a trench coat and a hat. That's profiling.
The police told the press they were victims of a gang fight, but I didn't buy it for a second. That's why I was looking into it in my downtime. Sounds like you practically brushed shoulders with the culprit around the time of the incident.
Yeah, it's a wonder you're even alive right now. You really do have the devil's own luck, you know that? Too bad the victims didn't share your good fortune.
Speaking of, I was looking into those unidentified bodies. Believe it or not, I was able to dig up a name. I think it was Desire or something.
Oh yeah, those guys. We ran into them during one of our 4 SPGs last year. They're a gang here in the capital that had ties to Almada. These guys have been stirring the pot all over the place since the end of last year, apparently.
We've received numerous reports of violence, fraud, and acts of aggression on their accounts against other criminal entities. The guild has been keeping tabs on them as a result. From what I heard, they've been uncharacteristically quiet as of late. Could it be they're involved in this case somehow?
You really think so?
And the more I think on it, the more the pieces seem to fit together.
Maybe. I still think it's too early to make any solid conclusions. Except for one thing. You need to steer clear of this case. Start poking your nose where it don't belong, and you'll find yourself sleeping with the fishes real soon.
Hey, why'd you have to go and pull at that image in my head? Are you trying to give me nightmares? Okay, fine. Try not to cross the line of fine. I'll just tiptoe around the edges.
Across the line of fire. I swear to adios.
We need to wrap this case up quickly, for her sake. To recap, we've learned two things. There was a survivor of the incident at Riverside, and Desire may be involved. What do you make of all this?
Well, first, I think it's a given that Desire's wrapped up in this somehow. Her friends were murdered here 2 weeks ago, so they're probably all up in arms and clamoring for revenge. I bet they charged headlong into Riverside 3 days ago to find the culprit and then got their asses beat. We're still missing a few pieces to this puzzle. The picture's becoming clearer.
What we need right now is proof. So why don't we pay Desire a little visit?
Wait, you know where their base is at?
I know its approximate location, yes. The guild has been gathering information on them for quite some time now. The members were spotted in the 9th district.
What, the Center Marsh?
That's right. There's a strong chance their base of operations is located there. Now, what say we find them and crash their little party?
Now you're speaking my language. Alright, I believe we've done... Oh, hang on. We got new dialogue. Yeah, Marielle.
I'm gonna take this chance to organize my notes from that interview just now. I plan to follow up on those serial murders too, Marielle style. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the same girl who stumbled into a giant Jerome assault way back when. This time, I'm gonna do my darndest not to hold you or anybody else back.
She's a lot more put together than last year, for sure. Gotta hope and worry that she's 2 steps away from an obituary feature, though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she went through like a pretty grisly death in the previous game. Not her, but, you know, somebody she was close with. Who the hell's... I recognize this kid. This is the kid that, like, spent all day, like, staring at, like, a window in the previous game. That's all he did. He just stared through a window. At least I think that's him.
Trains are my favorite vehicle. That's why I started collecting models of them.
But now that I get a better look, the Model Z1 cars are pretty cool too. My allowance isn't big enough for both though. Which do I go for?
No, maybe it's a different character. They reuse the models a lot.
Oh, hey.
Yume. Z1 is super cool, and so is Maxim. I was kind of worried since he always makes himself look bad at the bistro. He did pretty okay though, so I'll keep cheering him on next time too.
If the champ himself heard you say that, he'd probably break down in tears of joy.
A bit lukewarm as far as praise goes, but at least he got to prove his dignity as a professional.
Good old absent dad, Maxim Lugan.
Yume seems to have enjoyed herself. It's good to know this little breather was worth it. You and Elaine are still on the job, right? Don't overdo it out there.
Yeah, for sure. You guys take care too.
I'll be sure to stop by the bistro again when I can.
Alright. Center Marsh. The market's just as bustling as ever. People are packed in here like sardines.
I'm hardly surprised, seeing as how this is the largest marketplace in the capital. And that's why it's popular with seedy types as well. I can't believe we're coming here together again after all these years.
You're telling me. Feels like it was just yesterday when we were dropping by to pick up supplies with the student council. That bastard Renee just loved pushing that job onto me. Ugh. I wasn't even a real member, damn it.
I mean, you may as well have been one, considering how much work you ended up doing for us in the end.
Alright, enough reminiscing. We gotta figure out where those desire punks are holed up.
Right. Let's start by asking around.
I'm catching a whiff of something here. Smells like trouble. Maybe I should check the bulletin board just in case. Oh, we actually have something on the bulletin board. It's on the map. God, as much as I want to just play this game forever, non-stop, I am extraordinarily tired right now. I've been going for only 3 hours, which is a little bit short for me, but I will sure enough pick this right back up tomorrow. And we'll be right back to it. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Keep moving forward.